In our last video, we discussed how giving your best at work or at home is giving 50%. Because at this point, you are expending as much energy as you get back when you're spending the other 50% of your time recharging and resting, relaxing, and nurturing your soul and your heart by doing creative things or things you enjoy. So your best is 50%. If you haven't seen the last video, I'm gonna link to it below. In this video, we're going to talk about why, if 50% is our best, why do we feel so compelled to give more than 50%, to give it our all, or even give 120%, which is nonsense, because 100% is all we ever have, and it's just going to lead to burnout. So why do we feel we have to give more than is healthy for us, more than we can sustain for a reasonable amount of time? Because this is the highest percentage of rest to work ratio that we can sustain over the long term, or, well, indefinitely really. We can sustain lower things, obviously, but anything higher is unsustainable, because we will never get as much back as we expend, and our energy levels will just decline. And there are two reasons why we feel that we have to give more than our best, that our best is just not good enough. And these reasons, first of all, have to do with our feeling of worth, and secondly, with expectations. So from when we are born, we are told that we have no worth unless we earn it, unless we achieve, unless we succeed, unless we accumulate a lot of wealth, a lot of possessions. So we need to fill that empty hole of worthlessness that we are at some point throughout our life with all kinds of externalities. Now, if we're just working at 50%, we won't be able to achieve as much as other people who may be working at 75% or 100% or 120%. So if we continue working at 50% compared to other people, we will always feel worth less because we achieved less. Now, this is all based on a completely wrong premise altogether, because worth isn't something we can accumulate and worth isn't something we can gain. Worth is something that we have. So whether we work 50% of our time, 75%, 100%, 120%, our worth doesn't change. It will always be 100%. Like our energy here, this is our worth. It's unaffected by how much we work. But because society tells us that the more we work, the more worth we have, we feel compelled to work more than what's good for us, because this is the maximum level that's healthy and good for us here. Everything else will eventually lead to illness, to exhaustion, and to burnout. But the expectations that we have for ourselves, that other people have for us, that other people have for themselves and we compare ourselves to, stop us from feeling that this is good enough. Now, don't get me wrong, your best is always good enough, because everything else is going to harm you in long term. So your best is good enough, but expectations are constantly rising. So if you're giving your best at 50% and you're expecting it to give you the worth that society tells you that is required, and you're looking around you and you're seeing everybody else work more and achieve more because they put in more hours, you will feel like, actually, I should do more because I need to keep up with the Joneses. I need to fulfill the expectations society has in me. So you work more. And because worth isn't something that you can accumulate, once you work more and you achieve more, you still won't feel any more worthy, because your worth hasn't increased. Your worth is always there, you just don't see it. So if your worth doesn't increase, if you're working 75%, you are going to think, well, 50% wasn't good enough. 75% clearly isn't good enough. I need to work more. I need to work 100%. So you work more. You put in more hours. You achieve more. And still, you don't feel that you are worth. You don't feel that your worth has increased because of it. Because there are still always people who work more. You still haven't achieved everything you think that you should achieve to be able to have worth. So what do? You work some more. And eventually, all it gets you is burnout, is exhaustion. And you're never going to get any more worth from it. Because the more you work, the higher the expectations become. Because you still don't feel like you have worth. You still don't feel like it's good enough. And everybody else around you does the same. So they eventually increase to 140%, 160%. But the problem is, you can't sustain it. And then eventually you end up in burnout. And eventually you will feel completely worthless because now you are contributing 0% because you need 100% to recharge. So the only way to get out of this really miserable cycle is to realize that worth isn't something that you can earn or gain or accumulate, nothing that you can have. It's something that you are. It's already there, and it's unaffected by what you do and how much you work. And your best here, that really is your best. That's where you work to the best of your abilities, because you are spending as much energy as you are recharging, and your energy levels remain the same. This is your best, and your best is enough, always. So take yourself time to recharge, take yourself time to rest and relax without feeling guilty, because all of these things are nonsense. This is not something you should aspire to. It's unhealthy. It's harmful. It's unrealistic. Aim for this and know that it's good enough, and know that you are worth and that your worth does not change no matter how much you work and no matter how much you rest.